What up, fight fans? It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Now, Saul Canelo Alverez, anybody who's anybody heard the big news in boxing last week is that Saul Canelo Alverez making the switch. Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya sending Canelo Alvarez over to HBO from Showtime. Now he is fighting exclusively for HBO, ladies and gentlemen. Pinning himself, wanting to fight in the months of May and September, the same months as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has came and made these dates his own, ladies and gentlemen. These are Mexican holidays, as we all know. We have Mexican Independence Week in September, and we have Cinco de Mayo in May. Now, the thing is that no other fighter has ever challenged Mayweather for these dates. Mayweather has ruled these dates for roughly the last, almost 10 years or so now, you know. We've seen him fight Juan Manuel Marquez. We've seen him fight Robert Guerrero. We've seen him fight Victor Ortiz. We've seen him fight Oscar De La Hoya, Saul Canelo Alvarez. All these Mexican stars, ladies and gentlemen, or come from the Latin world in some form or fashion. These are the dates that Floyd Mayweather has fought these guys on. Some fights were record-breaking numbers. Some fights were just decent numbers. But these has always been the months that Floyd Mayweather feels like he can cash in the most, because he knows that the Mexican crowd, the Mexican fan base, are some of the most loyal fans that you'll find. So once you gain that crowd or gain that fan base, they will pay for your fights. They put butts in seats, ladies and gentlemen. So the thing is that it's pretty much unprecedented for any boxer in today's boxing age to challenge Floyd Mayweather. Now, the good thing about Canelo Alvarez to be going over to HBO, as all know, this opens the door for him to fight a lot of the fighters that he could not fight before, such as your Manny Pacquiao's, such as your Andre Ward's, your Triple G's, your Miguel Cotto's, the list goes on and on. It'll be very, very interesting to see which of these opponents he chooses to get in the ring with. But we know Saul Canelo Alvarez will be coming back to the ring in December, December 9th, I believe. So, but I'm hearing this rumor to be Joshua Clottey. Hope there's no truth in that, but that's the rumor that I'm hearing. But even if it is such, I would not be mad at Canelo. I mean, he took two tough fights this year. This will be the third fight for him this year. You know, he fought Angulo, and he also fought Erislandy Lara this year. So, and he beat them both. So, you know, to take a tune-up / slack off fight such as Joshua Clottey, a man who we pretty much know Canelo will pretty much beat. You know, I'm not the most upset, I guess you might want to say. But after this fight, he's got to get back on this shit. But anyway, he challenges Floyd Mayweather, though, for these dates. Now, a lot of fans are starting to, you know, kind of mumble about it. So, you know, let me just X off the beginning. There's no fucking way in hell that HBO or Showtime would ever do a pay-per-view on the same date. So anybody who says anything of that nature is totally off it. You know what I mean? That'll never happen, you know. Now, I can see, given how loyal that the Mexican fan base is, I can see, you know, Floyd Mayweather had a fight one week, them buying that fight. And then if Canelo Alvarez had a fight the next week, them buying that fight as well. Boxing is a pretty much mainstream sport for the Mexican fan base, ladies and gentlemen. So I can see it happening. But anyway, you know, this thing, you know, shows once again the rivalry, in my opinion, against Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Money Mayweather, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people think that Manny Pacquiao is the #1 arch nemesis or rival of Floyd Mayweather. Absolutely not. Ever since Floyd Mayweather beat the dog crap out of Oscar De La Hoya back in 2007, and he became the Golden Boy himself, him and Oscar, believe it or not, have not, I don't think, have been the best of friends. You know, of course, we seen 50 Cent come out, you know, not too long ago with the whole, "You work for Oscar, bitch?" You know, showing the check with the Golden Boy, you know, insignia on it or whatever. I mean, sure. I mean, we all knew that Golden Boy was promoting for Floyd Money Mayweather, but you cannot say that Oscar De La Hoya is the most happiest guy in the world to be paying Floyd Money Mayweather $70 million a fight. We just seen Floyd Mayweather post a check from the Maidana fight in which he made $72 million, ladies and gentlemen. So you can't tell me that Oscar De La Hoya is happy to be paying the man who he probably doesn't like the most fucking $70 million a fight. That's unprecedented numbers. 30, usually roughly about 30 to 32 for the purse, to 30 to 32 for the pay-per-view revenue, as well as the merchandising and things of that nature. So he is cutting Floyd a hefty chunk. All this "you work for Oscar" shit, man, I work for Oscar for $70 fucking million, ladies and gentlemen. That's being real with you. Take in mind that Oscar doesn't pay any of his Golden Boy fighters nowhere near this amount. His biggest star, Saul Canelo Alvarez, gets nothing of the nature, nothing of the sorts of that caliber of money, ladies and gentlemen. So Floyd Mayweather has been milking the dog crap out of Oscar De La Hoya on the Mexican holidays. But however, now we see this ironically that now that Mayweather has established his own promotional company, Mayweather Promotions, which is now a legit company, ladies and gentlemen. We see the rearrangements that's going on around Floyd with Leonard Ellaby and all these other stuff. But also, it's ironic that soon as this parting, I guess, from Golden Boy, yeah, Oscar did promote Floyd's last fight against Maidana, but I'm pretty sure in the future, Floyd is possibly looking to close out his legacy with honestly promoting his own fucking fights, which is awesome, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is, it's ironic that as soon as Floyd gets this up and running, we see Saul Canelo Alverez make this adjustment to go from Showtime to HBO and wanting to fight on the days that in the months that Mayweather usually holds his big pay-per-view extravaganza, ladies and gentlemen. You know, so it's kind of funny to me. You know, it seems as if Oscar now saying, hey, fuck that. If you're not going to be with me, I'm taking your fucking fan base. Too little, too late, in my opinion. If this thing would have happened roughly 3 to 4 fights ago, then maybe it would harm Floyd in such a way. But Floyd has roughly 2 fights left on his contract, possibly coming back for a third to break the Marciano record. Those are 3 fights now he will not be fighting under the Golden Boy banner, possibly, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, these 3 fights, people want to see these 3 fights. Hopefully, they're good fights. Hopefully, 2 of them will involve Manny Pacquiao. Who knows? But the fact is, people want to see these 3 fights. People want to know if if Floyd Money Mayweather is going to take a loss with 3 fights remaining, ladies and gentlemen. I think the marketability of that is big enough, honestly, to outdo anything or any intentions that Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez may be trying to have to take the fan base away. But, you know, and think about it like this. Honestly, Floyd can get the last laugh on these motherfuckers. If he's thinking smart, which I'm hoping he is, Floyd would think, oh, fuck, if I go on and put on the biggest fight known to man, which will be Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, Golden Boy Promotions would had nothing to do with it. In the first fight, and if there is a rematch, the second fight. We're talking 300 million plus in the first fight, ladies and gentlemen, and possibly even bigger in the second fight. And Oscar gets nothing, ladies and gentlemen. So that would be fucking checkmate for Floyd Money Mayweather if he was to go out like that. That's just wishful thinking. That is which I'm hoping that he honestly is thinking in that manner, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains is Oscar and Floyd, man, just never seemed eye to eye, always on the opposite sides of the track. Even when Floyd was being promoted through Golden Boy, ladies and gentlemen, he was always talking dog shit about the fighters in the Golden Boy stable. He was always throwing major disses at Oscar, ladies and gentlemen. Some of that shit was pre-fight build-up or whatnot, but I also think a lot of that shit was fucking genuine. As we see, Golden Boy, how Floyd was stated in the past that Golden Boy is really Richard Schaefer, you know what I mean? So, and we all know that, according to Floyd Money Mayweather, Richard Schaefer has a home over at Mayweather Promotions. So, but from what I'm understanding, Richard can't make a move until at least 2015 due to his ties with Golden Boy Promotions. But the fact remains, ladies and gentlemen, Floyd Money Mayweather possibly can checkmate this situation. Because I do not think this move from Canelo will hinder Floyd's fan base one bit. His marketability at this point is too high, ladies and gentlemen. If it's not the people who want to see him lose, it's the people who want to see him honestly attain the greatness of breaking the Marciano record. And then you ask yourself this question. There is a highly amount of rumors that possibly Floyd will be maybe trying to fight Amir Khan next fight, which honestly, I mean, it'll be a decent fight, I guess. You know, we all want to see Floyd in the ring with someone who's young and full of speed, but I honestly would prefer to see Kell Brook and Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm hearing Kell Brook is a bigger rock star in the UK than Amir Khan is today anyway. But anyway, I'm hearing this rumor that Floyd Mayweather will possibly try to get up against Amir Khan. Now, Amir Khan brings the UK fan base. He brings the Pakistans. He brings the Muslims. He brings all these different constituencies, if you will, to a fight. Now, we haven't seen Floyd Mayweather fight a UK fighter since Ricky Hatton, and we seen the turnout for that, ladies and gentlemen. There's only one Ricky Hatton. Remember that shit? That place was fucking rocking. Every seat was filled. Pay-per-view numbers were pretty decent. So the UK fan base is a very, very profitable fan base, especially for Floyd Money Mayweather, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm pretty sure, you know, Canelo, even if he did take away some fans, let's just use imagination here, and he took some fans away from Floyd, how much he's not going to take all of the Mexican fans. Floyd still have other constituencies. That is the difference between him and Canelo. Canelo may have the Mexicans behind him, and that is a hell of a group to have behind you. But that is the only group that he has behind him at this point. African Americans, the UK fans, I don't think they're quite as big on Canelo as the Mexican fan base is. So the thing also, I mean, Floyd can tap into all of those constituencies. Bring on the UK boxing fans with Amir Khan or either Kell Brook, or if he fights Manny Pacquiao, the Filipinos, the Asian Americans, the African Americans will also still come out to support Floyd. We may not buy as many fights as most groups, but, you know, we throw the fight parties, you know what I'm saying? So we support Floyd. He's the only fucking boxer that black people throw a fight party for, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. So the thing is, the matter is, Floyd has many different constituencies in which he can tap into. So Saul Canelo Alverez, Oscar De La Hoya, if you're doing this to try to any kind of sort of way spite Floyd Mayweather with his 2 fights officially left, possibly 3 fights left, I just think too little, too late. Until the next video, it's your main man, Made Man. We'll jump on this topic again as it progresses, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see where this goes. But hey, that's just how I think how the ball bounces. But until the next video, it's your main man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll check y'all out. My Twitter, Made Man 511. I'm always on there talking boxing. Fuck with your boy. See y'all then.